Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our conference hosted by the Center for Strategic and International Studies and the Chey Institute for Advanced Studies. This year's focus on supply chains is on the forefront of policymakers' minds on both sides of the Pacific. Our historical, deep, and impactful relationship with the Chey Institute has contributed to this focus and laid the intellectual groundwork for studying the strategic impact of supply chains for Northeast Asia. In Washington, the Biden administration has intensely focused on securing America's supply chains while working to harness innovation and encouraging close cooperation with the U.S.'s allies and partners around the globe. In February of last year, the administration kicked off its focus on supply chains with an executive order that sought to understand America's supply chains so that they will continue to remain secure in an environment that includes multiple threats. We've seen it from pandemics to cyberspace to geopolitical competition. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, for example, and the subsequent economic sanctions that have been imposed by the West have further complicated supply chain challenges. That executive order from the Biden administration kicked off reviews by agencies from across the executive branch and generated hundreds of pages of reports. Those reports, in turn, tried to explain where the risks are today, but they didn't fully answer the question of how we can work together to develop robust supply chains. During their May 2022 discussions and on the U.S. President's visit to South Korea, both President Biden and Yoon said in a joint statement that the United States and the Republic of Korea will, quote, continue working together to tackle immediate and long-term challenges in the supply chain ecosystem, end quote. Today, we are here to help bridge that divide between government and industry to better understand the challenges that we are all collectively facing. Complex and global supply chains are an indelible fixture of the global economy. While the market has tended to develop supply chains that are often too fragile, our governments can come together to think intentionally about how to use our mutual economic strengths to make the ties that hold the world together just a little bit stronger. This conference is designed to help better understand those strengths, also to understand the challenges, so that policymakers can begin to understand the hurdles they face in safeguarding our economies and ensuring the free flow of goods. To help us kick things off, our keynote speaker today will be Dr. David Honey. Dr. Honey has a long history with the Department of Defense and currently serves in the United States as the Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering. In that role, he assists in managing research and development across the U.S. Department of Defense. He also helps to oversee DARPA, the Missile Defense Agency, the Defense Innovation Unit, and the Space Development Agency, as well as the DoD Laboratory and Engineering Enterprise. I know that he will have a valuable contribution that will expand our understanding of the critical sectors that we're going to talk about over the next 2 days. But before Dr. Honey speaks, I'd like to pass things off to Ambassador Park. Ambassador Park In-kook is the president of the Chey Institute for Advanced Studies. Before leading the Chey Institute, Ambassador Park served as the permanent representative of the Republic of Korea to the United Nations from 2008 to 2011. He served as a career diplomat with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for over 30 years and has served in important leadership roles, including President of the Geneva Conference on Disarmament, Chairman of the Second Committee of the UN General Assembly, and as co-chair of the Preparatory Committee for the UN Conference on Sustainable Development. It is truly an impressive career. He's also a visiting professor at Korea University. So with that, I will hand things off to Ambassador Park. Thank you very much for this partnership.
Thank you, Dr. Seth Jones, for your kind introduction to this important get-togethers. Good morning and good evenings, Deputy Undersecretary David Honey and other colleagues. I'm very pleased to have distinguished speakers from both the United States and Korea to address the business of supply chains and geopolitical risk. I'm also delighted that CSIS and Chey Institute have heralded an exploration of nexus between scientific innovation and geopolitical risk. Joint collaboration between the two organizations in this field dates back to early 2020. Over the past 2 years, CSIS and Chey Institute for Advanced Studies have hosted 3 conferences and produced 2 landmark reports thereon, which received tremendous attention from the public, academic, and policy circles. Building upon the success of these collaborations, the CSIS and Chey Institute have embarked on a new project this year to closely examine the supply chains of critical technology. I'm confident that today's workshop will provide us with invaluable food for thought for the next joint report. Today's global supply chains have been seriously crippled by pandemic and an array of geopolitical challenges such as the Russian-Ukraine war. Supply chain bottlenecks have damaged the economies and global peace and security as well. Supply chain disruptions have led to skyrocketing oil and grain prices and exacerbating global inflation. What's worse is that these challenges are occurring simultaneously, which require extraordinary effort and much closer coordination among nations. President Biden's executive order titled America's Supply Chains, as Dr. Seth Jones mentioned, showcases the international community's concerns about the vulnerabilities and the resilience in critical supply chain. The executive order triggered an all-of-government assessment of key U.S. critical supply chains involving semiconductors, EV batteries, ICT, and even energy. These efforts serve as a warning sign to the rest of the world about the severity of risk coming from global supply chain. Last December, the Chey Institute for Advanced Studies hosted its inaugural Track 1.5 Trans-Pacific Dialogue, or TPD, in Washington, D.C., with more than 50 prominent scholars, opinion leaders, and governmental officials from the US, Korea, and Japan, including NSC coordinators Kurt Campbell. TPD can be considered a symbolic sea change event as part of materialization of Pivot to Asia. The TPD conference covered topics including US-China strategic competition in the Pacific strategy, North Korean denuclearization, scientific innovation and its geopolitical impact, and the future of global supply chains. The first TPD conference also focused on various efforts to increase supply chain resilience of critical technologies, especially in the EV battery sectors. The participants emphasized the need to establish a supply chain in a regional base with a view to reducing transportation costs and opening up opportunities for more efficient recycling operations. In case of semiconductors, there was a general concern over recurring semiconductor supply shocks under the current industrial architectures. One way to overcome this risk is to invest in soft infrastructure or workforce. Participants worried about the shortage of qualified technical candidates or talents and discussed the critical role of universities in providing training programs and developing a stable technological expertise. Other issues discussed during the TPD included the North Korean rapid advancement in nuclear and missile capabilities, the US-China strategic competition, and other potential regional conflicts. All these challenges are detrimental to a safe and durable global supply chain in this region. In this regard, we can't overstate the importance of ROK-US collaboration and coordination. The President Biden and President Yoon recently agreed to establish a global comprehensive strategic alliance. As part of new initiative, both presidents agreed to expedite cooperation on emerging technologies such as leading-edge semiconductors, EV batteries, AI, quantum technology, biomanufacturing, autonomous robots, and biotechnologies to establish the safe, sustainable, and resilient global supply chain. The two leaders also agreed to, I quote, strengthen the resilience and the diversity by cooperating on early warning system to detect and address potential supply chain disruptions, unquote, and to hold regular ministerial level supply chain and commercial dialogues. Over the next 2 days, we will examine 3 critical technology clusters: semiconductors, EV batteries, and biotechnology, and their respective supply chains. This workshop will also assess their geopolitical implication in Northeast Asia. I would like to thank again all colleagues and friends from the United States and Korea for engaging in this very timely first workshop. I thank you.
Dr. Jones, Ambassador Park, thank you for the kind introduction. It's an honor to be a part of this important conference hosted by the Center for Strategic and International Studies and the Chey Institute. Let me also offer congratulations to the new President of the Republic of Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, and his administration, who were sworn into office on May 10th. We look forward to working with the new administration. For more than 70 years, the relationship between the United States and the Republic of Korea has been vital to stability and prosperity in Northeast Asia. Our alliance, established in 1953, remains the linchpin of peace and security in the Western Pacific and the Korean Peninsula. This alliance continues to maintain a robust, combined defense posture to protect the Republic of Korea against any threat or adversary. On a recent visit to the ROK, President Biden and President Yoon Suk-yeol discussed, among other things, ways to deepen and broaden cooperation on critical and emerging technologies such as semiconductors, batteries, civil nuclear power, space development, and cyberspace. Fully recognizing that scientists, researchers, and engineers of two countries are among the most innovative in the world, both presidents agree to leverage this comparative advantage to enhance public and private cooperation to protect and promote critical and emerging technologies, including leading-edge semiconductors, eco-friendly EV batteries, artificial intelligence, quantum technology, biotechnology, biomanufacturing, and autonomous robots. The Technology Cooperation Subcommittee, TCSC, established in 1990, continues to act as the main forum for DoD science and technology cooperation with ROK. It is intended to facilitate engagement among scientists, engineers, and international program office staffs. As part of the TCSC, both sides agreed to host an annual TCSC Technology Forum on a specific technology topic aligned with DoD critical technologies and cross-service in scope. The first technology forum will focus on space domain awareness and is anticipated to be held in late summer or early fall in the Republic of Korea. The TCSC can address far-ranging S&T capability gaps and stands ready to meet any challenge, whether that be a growing technology race with adversaries or addressing global supply chain issues. Also, back in February of 2022, the White House released its Indo-Pacific strategy of the United States. The strategy pointed to the U.S. commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific that is more connected, prosperous, secure, and resilient. The ROK is a critical element of this strategy. Like the ROK, we aim to promote regional security through capacity building. The role of science and technology in achieving this vision is key to what we do in the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering, where I work. The Undersecretary, Heidi Shyu, is the DoD's Chief Technology Officer. She is responsible for developing and fielding critical technologies to deliver capabilities and strengthen capacity for our military and our allies. In February, the Undersecretary published her strategic vision for the organization. This established 3 pillars of effort to focus on for executing our mission to deliver top technology to the department. These are mission focus, foundation building, succeeding through teamwork, and today's conference is about all 3 of these. This strategic vision also established 14 critical technology areas we want to emphasize across the department. For the U.S. ROK relationship and this conference, there are 5 areas we want to focus our attention on as they impact global supply chain security. But we certainly look forward to continue to build on the solid relationship we have with the new ROK administration. The 5 topics are artificial intelligence. As AI, machine learning, and autonomous operations continue to mature, the DoD will focus on evidence-based AI assurance and enabling operational effectiveness. 5G and future G. As 5th-generation wireless technology is adopted and provides building blocks for capability, the DoD will also look forward to future G for leap-ahead technologies to lead in creating future standards. The department will invest in future G technology development to lay the groundwork for continued United States leadership in information technology, which is vital to maintaining our economic and national security. At the U.S. ROK Presidential Summit in May of last year, the U.S. and the ROK agreed to recognize the importance of telecommunications security and vendor diversity. The leaders also commit to work together to develop open, transparent, and secure 5G and 6G network devices and architectures using Open RAN approaches both at home and abroad. Quantum science. Quantum computing can provide unprecedented computational speeds and help solve the department's hardest analytical problems. Quantum sensors promise the ability to provide unprecedented accuracy in position, navigation, and timing. Our near-term technology focus is on advanced atomic clocks and quantum sensors to improve navigation and timing reliability beyond GPS and improve our access to the spectrum. We have engaged in basic QIS research via joint funding calls and information exchange agreements with South Korea, including the U.S. Air Force through AFOSR, initiated joint funding with South Korea's National Research Foundation, NRF, for university collaborations between Korea and the U.S. Biotechnology. From fighting global pandemics and avoiding surprises to reducing logistics and sustainment costs and increasing energy efficiency, biotechnology can help change the way the department conducts missions, performs in contested logistics environments, and adapts to major global changes. Biotechnology innovation is largely through global collaborations. DoD partnerships domestically and internationally de-risk and accelerate the transition of research to operational demonstrations and capabilities. Renewable energy generation and storage. Renewable energy generation and storage promises to decrease warfighter vulnerability and deliver new operational capabilities for the department. From more efficient batteries to diversifying energy sources and reduced fuel transportation risks, renewable energy generation and storage will add resilience and flexibility in a contested logistics environment. The U.S. and the ROK have also agreed to enhance cooperation between our foreign investment screening and export control authorities related to critical technologies, which is necessary to prevent the use of advanced technologies to undermine our national and economic security. One of the ways we help facilitate this in USD R&E is via the Foreign Comparative Testing Program. The Republic of Korea has been an active participant in the FCT program since 1983. DoD has funded 16 FCT projects to evaluate ROK technology, systems, and equipment. 4 projects are ongoing: enhancing DoD concrete infrastructure repair, which evaluates a rapid-setting polymer-based mortar for repair of critical infrastructure, reducing shipping costs by providing a qualified material source that meets performance requirements in theater. The supercavitating ammunition program, which tests small arms ammunition that leverages the physical properties of supercavitation to increase range and lethality in underwater environments, providing a new capability to enhance various maritime operational mission areas. Artificial intelligence neuromorphic chip, which is evaluating an AI-enabled prototype gun tag to measure and record Striker 120mm mortar firing activity, demonstrating cost-effective AI at the tactical level while reducing weapon system lifecycle maintenance costs. Fast Inshore Attack Craft Engagement, also known as FIAC. This program helped test a fire-and-forget 2.75-inch rocket with an advanced imaging infrared seeker to provide an effective asymmetric capability against FIAC swarms in the maritime environment. As you can see, we have had a long and meaningful relationship with the people of the Republic of Korea. I am sure that more ideas will be discussed during this conference, and I look forward to many more years of fruitful partnership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Honey. Thanks for that vision and for your emphasis on the cooperation between the United States and the Republic of Korea. Thank you also for the cooperation with us, with your office, the Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering. For everyone, please join us for the rest of this conference. There'll be 2 virtual public workshops. The first is Thursday, June 9th, Eastern Time. That's 8 a.m., Friday, June 10th, Korea time, where we will discuss high-capacity batteries and critical and strategic materials. The second workshop will be at 8 a.m., June 10th, Eastern Time. That's June 10th, 9 p.m. Korea time, on the subject of biotechnology and public health. You may register for these workshops on the CSIS event page, so please go to CSIS.org. Let me finish by thanking Ambassador Park and reinforcing the cooperation between and the importance of the cooperation between the Center for Strategic and International Studies and the Chey Institute for Advanced Studies on this critical subject of supply chain. We look forward to seeing you at these virtual workshops.